Is Chris-Beth Cowie, and I am the founder of Empowered Facts and the host of BizGrams. I'm super excited to be here with you this morning because I get a chance to talk to you about business, giving some offering some tips and advice as you're building your business. Today, I wanted to talk about startups who are considering how to invest in their business. One of the things that I see many entrepreneurs who are starting out are struggling to figure out the next step in terms of their venture development and creation. Oftentimes, when you have an idea and you put it to the test, you realize that either people want it or they don't want it. And so the encouragement is, if people are not engaging or working out, the transactions aren't working out how you expect them, you need to go back to the drawing board. Don't give up on your idea just yet. You definitely want to go back to the beginning, really understanding the pain points and the problems entrepreneurs are facing. But for those of you who have started, you put your idea out, you're seeing some people saying yes, some transaction happening, you got your first sale, congratulations. I want to invite you as well to go back to the drawing board. And the drawing board, our system and process that I'm talking about, is the design thinking process. The design thinking process is so key and fundamental to business development, their growth, and their scaling ability. Okay, so what is design thinking all about? There are 5 main components as it relates to design thinking. The first is empathize. So being able to really connect with the heart of the consumer. What problems, I go back to this word, what problems, need, desire, wants they have that you have the potential of fulfilling and solving in the marketplace. The next one is defining the problem. Before you jump in there to say, I have a solution, really the first 2 steps is really understanding the perspective of the entrepreneur, that the perspective of your target audience. And then that will then enable you to define the problem as they see it, right? Yes, you're on mission to solve the world's problems, to make a positive difference. But remember, if you're doing it only with your perspective and your biases, you're not going to be able to connect effectively with your target audience. The step 3 of 5, yes, is ideate. So you've gathered the information from your target audience, you understand the problem, you've defined the problem. Now it's when you and your team or your community, even the potential customers, could be part of this solution creation, getting everybody to come in and brainstorm different ways in which the problem can be solved, the need can be fulfilled, the desire can be achieved. Really understanding that the ideation process starts with brainstorming, okay? And this is where you go for quantity over quality. Go far out. Think about what you may perceive to be impossible, and then converge on those a point that could really resolve that. So you oftentimes hear the terminology convergence, being in your thinking, and then divergent first for quantity, and then converging on that idea. So going to that one idea that you want to then prototype. So you're gonna either create some mock-up paper copy version of it. You might, invest a small amount to say, okay, I'm going to take the user through this process and then see how they interact or engage. So that's prototyping. And then the final step is going into the marketplace and going back potentially to your target audience, the people that you interviewed at first, to test out how they engage and how they want to see it. So those are the 5 points that I want to say, go back to the drawing board. Whether or not you're just starting, use the design thinking process that would enable you to grow and move through a process to reach a point to say, I've tested the idea, I've gotten some initial traction, I've gotten rejection, I've learned a lot, and I will continue to figure out how to move through and reach the target customer. Understand this. It is not a linear process, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You may go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. You know, it's all over the place sometimes. But now you have key fundamentals that would help guide and support you through this process of starting your business effectively. So if you're starting out, please, the encouragement is using design thinking process to help you. I recently met a client who, you know, they've gone through the process without even knowing that they went through the process. So I said, tell me how you started building your business. And he said, you know, I talked to potential customers. So in his case, he was building a company to help grocery stores, local grocery stores, reach their target market effectively. So kind of like Uber Eats, or, you know, what's the shopping one? Not skip the dishes. The type of business that helps you get your groceries to your front door. And so he wanted to support local grocers to get their customers connected in that way with them. And so he went out, started talking to some grocery store owners, understood that they were struggling in particular during this time to reach and engage with their target audience. And so he's like, okay, I'm gonna create this platform that's gonna connect people directly to the customer. So he went out, got 5 grocery stores to say, yes, we will try your platform. And then he got 15 customers to go through the entire process, and he's made some sales. So I was like, buddy, you're well on your way, great job, all of these things. This guy is now talking about, oh, I want to build the app. I want to do, and I said, whoa, don't rush. You gotta go slow sometimes, you know, slow and steady. Yes, moving quickly, but you don't really when it comes to investing, right? So you realize that people are willing to buy. And so the talk here today too is, where do you make that next investment of your time, energy, and resources? So financial capital and your energy, as well as you're going through this process. So my encouragement to him was, let's look at the design thinking process. And so we went through the process. Okay, tell me about the pain points the grocers were experiencing. Tell me also the pain point of the end user. Remember, if people are looking for their local Caribbean foods or their local African foods, and they're trying to find it in the Canadian market, sometimes those people don't know where to go. So he said, I was really trying to enable new immigrants to find the local food from back home. I said, that's wonderful. And so he talked about the pain, struggling to find the food, not knowing where to go, and really looking at simplifying that connection between the grocery stores and the new immigrants. I said, wonderful. So we've defined the problem. You've already created a platform, and it's not a super flashy thing that people went to. A transaction happened, and now you're really looking at how to grow this thing. So my encouragement, I said, you don't want to be like one of my past clients who came to me at the point when they have already invested over $40,000 into an application that nobody wanted to even use for free. When I told him that, his jaw dropped. He's like, I don't want to spend that money just yet anyways. And so that's my message to you. You don't want to be those people who say, I'm going to just invest all without truly understanding the market. And this is where it comes into play, where you're doing primary and secondary research to truly understand who you're going to serve and the difference that you're going to make. So with this young man really looking at where he is in his business development, he's put an idea out to the market, tested it. Okay, he's made some initial sales. Where does he invest? Invest in a new app to build it out. You know, the sales are minimal at this point in time, but it's still a sale, so good on him. But one of the things I suggested, instead of going and spending money into building an app, I said as well, you know, people oftentimes delete apps once their phones are full. And if your application is not, you know, high use, you know, super important to them, guess what's going to happen? They're going to delete your app. Or alternatively, instead of building an app, how about you use this time to strengthen the relations with the customers you do have. So those initial 15 people that went through your platform, you got a transactional fee, great. Have they gone back to the platform? If they have, great. Connect with them, understand why they went back. If they have not, why? You need to really go through this process, especially in these early stages, before you invest a whole lot more. You know, he's talking about paid ads and all of these things. One of my mentors said to me recently, Chris-Beth, before you start thinking about paid ads, can you make the sale organically first? And so if you can make the sale organically, and in his case, you know, he did get some organic traction, then, you know, up until a point, you then thinking, okay, let's think about doing a paid ad. And again, before you make that investment of paid advertisement, you want to make sure that you have the structure and the support in order to make that sales funnel seamless and testable, right? So versus, oh, I tried all of these things. No, you want to go through a model, a process that can guide. You can come back and check on it. My point for saying and sharing his story around his grocery store app, it was really to share with you today, before you invest tons of money into your business, yes, it's gonna grow, it's gonna scale, keep working, keep, you know, injecting the right resources and community to help you grow. Consider slowing down. Consider really thinking about it through a design thinking process. And when that time comes, you made a sale, you have to go back to that beginning to really understand, did we get the problem? Because, you know, he got 15 people on board to make a purchase through his platform, but 15 is not a business, right? That's not sustainable. So my recommendation with him was like, let's look at the sales process that you're taking people through. One of the things that you really need to be able to do is understand the relationship that you have with the grocers, strengthen that to tell their story, because now you're like a brand ambassador for the stores on your website. And understanding the user, so the end user, the people that are actually going through the system, understand their experience, think about how you could improve on that, and then go forward. So